every DreamWorks side character we love, there's only one that really tests our patience. And today, we're deep diving into the most lovable and most frustrating sidekicks to ever grace the screen. Some leave us laughing, others want to make us pull our friggin' hair out. But no matter how you feel about them, each one leaves you thinking about the same thing. How the hell did they end up in this list?
These tunnels leads to the troll tree, and the others to
certain death.
So let's start with Cloud Guy from Trolls Universe, a character who seems to have all the right ingredients for, unfortunately, an annoying sidekick. Cloud Guy's the definition of a character who just can't stop talking, no matter how much we beg him to. With lines like "slap it, boss" and "party on the top floor," he's the kind of guy who never knows when to shut up. Just one small request from the branch, and Cloud Guy immediately turns it into his personal improv show. You ask him to keep it brief, and somehow he's still going on with random phrases like shark attack, num nom nom nom, jellyfish, pan sandwich, turkey, snowman, dolphin, helicopter. By the time he's done, you're left questioning your goddamn life choices, wondering how you ended up here in this very awkward moment with Cloud Guy still talking. And in the Trolls movies, Cloud Guy does everything except just be quiet. And when you think it couldn't get any worse, we find him in the spin-off series, still doing what he does best, talking off your ear off. And at this point, Cloud Guy is just so goddamn irritating that it's no longer comic relief. It's just a never-ending sparkly form of bullying. He's the kind of character you wish you would just get the memo and learn when to shut the cloud up. But no! Cloud Guy never learns that lesson. It's almost so hard to watch. He's the one character who has zero idea when to stop, and somehow, that makes him so unbearable. Now, if we compare him to Donkey from Shrek, there's a huge difference. Donkey could talk for hours, and you'd still want to hear what he has to say.
Wonder you don't have any friends.
Wow. Only a true friend would be that truly honest.
He's just loud, obnoxious, and always in your face. But there's a charm to it that makes him lovable. Just look at his first interaction with Shrek. But you know what I like about you, Shrek? You got that kind of I don't care what anybody thinks of me thing. Like, I like that. I respect that, Shrek. It's endearing, right? And sure, Donkey has his moments where you want to tell him to calm down, like when he insults Shrek by saying, "You only look like this at night. Shrek's ugly 24/7. But somehow, Donkey's humor makes you laugh even through the irritation. His ability to always make light of situations, even when he's being a little annoying, still leaves a smile on your face. But let's be real here, even Donkey isn't perfect. He has his own quirks and annoying moments that you can't ignore. However, his personality is so well-rounded that even when he's irritating, it never crosses the line into frustration. Donkey brings genuine joy to the film, making even the loudest scenes enjoyable. Then there's Zhen from Kung Fu Panda 4.
Bad.
The indestructible chain hammer of Master Pangolin!
A side character who's supposed to evoke a similar underdog story like Pose, but somehow it just feels rushed. Zhen shows up, and suddenly, we're supposed to care about her, even though the Furious Five are nowhere to be seen, and her arc seems to change direction every few seconds. Like, one minute she's betraying Po, then the next she's apologizing, and in what feels like the blink of an eye, she's considered for the title of Dragon Warrior? Okay, so what happened to the struggle, the growth, the real journey? It's like watching a rough draft of a character's story that somehow made it into theaters. Po took 3 movies to grow into the Dragon Warrior we love. But Zhen, she goes from a thief to a potential Dragon Warrior in about, maybe 3 scenes? Sure, she's fast, slick, and confident, but it all feels, a little too convenient. Zhen's story in the end doesn't feel earned. It feels like a shortcut to the underdog narrative. Now, compare that to Tigerss, who is the complete opposite. Tigerss is one of the strongest, most powerful characters in DreamWorks history. You can tell she's been training since Kung Fu preschool, holding on to her grudge against Po for taking the Dragon Warrior title. She doesn't get angry or throw fits. Instead, she takes it on the chin with a level of grace that shows just how strong she truly is. But what makes Tigerss such a compelling character is that we see her growth, not just as a fighter, but as a friend. She eventually accepts Po, even though it wasn't easy, and when the stakes are at their highest, she shows a side of herself we've never seen before. The hardcore can't understand, but I can't watch my friend be killed. That moment hits harder than any punch she's ever thrown. Tigerss might be tough on the outside, sure, but deep down, she has one of the biggest hearts in the valley. She's one of those rare characters who grows without losing her edge, which is exactly why we love her. Moving on to the next character who falls somewhere between love and hate, King Harold from Shrek.
I knew this would happen.
You should. Who started it?
King Harold is complicated. He's not the worst character, but his flaws make him hard to like. From the moment he meets Shrek, he's throwing glares like daggers and his actions are driven by guilt more than anything else. Harold made a deal with the fairy godmother to ensure Fiona would marry Prince Charming, and now he's stuck with the consequences. But instead of stepping up like a father should, he hides his guilt behind every sneer and underhanded move. Sure, he's just protecting his daughter, but his moral compass is just about as crooked as they come. Harold tries to run away from his problems rather than face them. It's one of those things that makes you just shake your head in disbelief. And when Fiona finally calls him out on it, it's not about love, it's about doing the right thing. Harold, though, doesn't understand, but his flaws are a part of what makes his redemption so much more impactful. By the end of it, he's no longer the villain, and although it comes at a cost, Harold learns that he doesn't need to be perfect to be a good father. Now, compare him to Mr.Ping from Kung Fu Panda.
Do something else? Something besides noodles?
Actually, when I was young and crazy,
This character is the true embodiment of parental love. Mr. Ping is a father who doesn't care what his son does. He just wants Po to know that he believes in him. From the moment Po's story begins, Mr. Ping's there, supporting him in every way that he can, even when Po feels like he's not enough. He may be a bit quirky, but he never guilts Po for leaving or trying to find himself. Instead, Mr. Ping waits patiently, believing that his son will come back when he's ready. His belief in Po is the foundation of the love story in Kung Fu Panda. Mr. Ping's wisdom is surprisingly deep for a goose. He teaches Po that the key to making something special is to believe it's special, a lesson that sticks with us long after the credits roll. It's the kind of love that we all crave, a parent who believes in us no matter what. And the way Mr. Ping reacts when Po finds another father figure is both heartbreaking and beautiful. It's the kind of love that transforms a character from just a sidekick to a pivotal emotional anchor in the story. But now let's talk about Derek from Monsters vs. Aliens.
Art and craft show down at the fairgrounds. Or a perfect day to marry Susan Murph.
A character who truly tests our patience. Derek couldn't care less about Susan's transformation into a giant. All he cares about is his career. He dumps her not for being a monster, but because she's too tall. Wow, ain't that shallow. Derek, you selfish, insecure little man. It's not just his lack of empathy. It's his refusal to acknowledge anything beyond himself. You can't help but feel sorry for Susan as she constantly shrinks herself to fit into Derek's tiny, narrow world. And finally, we have Queen Lillian from Shrek. Now here's a woman who deserves every ounce of respect. Lillian doesn't back down from anything. She's tough, but she's also incredibly loving, especially when it comes to Fiona. While Harold may be the king who runs from his problems, Lillian is the queen who stands tall, making sure her family stays united. When push comes to shove, Lillian is the glue holding her family together. She's the one who pushes through even when the situation's tough, because in the end, she's willing to do anything to make sure that Fiona is happy. So, which side character do you love to love, and which one just drives you up the goddamn wall? Whether it's Cloud Guy who never knows when to shut up, or Donkey who knows how to talk non-stop but somehow makes you laugh, DreamWorks has a way of creating characters that hit you when it counts. And as much as we love them, we can't help but roll our eyes at the ones who can't stop talking or doing the wrong thing. But one thing's for sure, they all leave a mark in our hearts, whether we love them or hate them. And in the end, it may not even matter. Maybe it's not about loving every side character. Maybe it's about how they make us feel, like annoyed, entertained, or even a bit of both. And that's what makes DreamWorks side characters just so unforgettable.